One of the characteristic features of a wicked problem is that there are many stakeholders. Each stakeholder may have a completely different view of the problem. So one way of getting to grips with a wicked problem is mapping out the various stakeholders' perspectives and looking for a common ground in a systematic way. We tried out a method called problem mapping that was inspired by an earlier approach outlined by Horn and Weber in 2007. Problem mapping is in fact a form of stakeholder analysis in a visual form. It is designed to gain an overview of a wicked problem, but it is also a means to identify areas of common ground through what we call cross-cutting issues analysis. These areas of common ground may be points where action can be undertaken to work towards solutions for parts of the larger wicked problem. During a workshop with RDM practitioners, we piloted the concept of problem mapping. It worked as follows. First, participants worked in small groups with flipchart paper and post-it notes to construct a view of one stakeholder's view of the drivers and barriers for research data management. Stakeholders included a number of professional services and researchers, in particular the library, the research office, the IT services, the careers services, and academics from different disciplines. After 20 minutes, groups changed stakeholder and were allowed to review and possibly adapt what the previous group had suggested. They were also asked to produce a summary of how the stakeholders saw research data management. During a plenary session, we reviewed the work so far and then we looked for recurrent themes, the cross-cutting issues. Finally, the groups then worked on an analysis of one of these issues. So, what are the benefits of this tool? Well, in general, it seemed to work rather well. The tool generates a big picture whilst still starting at a manageable level. One of the participants wrote the following.
Problem mapping enabled the group to think about specific aspects of the RDM problem in manageable, bite-sized chunks. It allowed us to focus on specific stakeholders before bringing together the smaller pieces to form a more coherent structure that identified commonality and differences between the stakeholder groups.
This process of stakeholder and cross-cutting analysis takes time. Participants appreciated that their maps began to reveal a common landscape, but there was a sense that more effort could have been put into exploring possible solutions.
I didn't feel that solutions or paths and actions towards solutions came out of this exercise particularly strongly. This, as with all tools, probably needs to be used in combination with others to be most effective.
So, overall, it seemed that the tool was rather useful to get an overview of a very complex issue and may be a first step to start tackling the wicked problem. But it is only a first step. Problem mapping itself does not really explore possible solutions. It only points you in a direction where you might find them. You could probably use this tool by yourself to get a hold of the stakeholder landscape you are working with. But our participants thought the tool would be more useful when used in one institution with actual stakeholders participating in the process. If you want to work through the problem mapping process yourself, details on how to do this are to be found in the associated website. A number of other collaborative approaches to working with wicked problems have been suggested and analysed by Nye and Verwij. You can read about them and think about how useful you think they would be.